I contacted the indie game developers and they provided information about their creation. The games are completely different, both in terms of quality and genre, composition of teams and budgets. Gennady is a hardcore mixture of bloody acid substrate and black and white comics. An old-school platformer with roguelite elements where you need to use your own body to make your way through biomass compressed into neat cubes and hordes of aliens. The sticky pages of the dark comic are hard to turn because of the clotted green goo, but somewhere at the end of this story there must be a cozy picture of a house. I wish I could get there faster, otherwise sometimes I want to stay here forever, or at least spend the weekend. A team of 7 people worked on the development of the game for 1 year, using the Unreal Engine 4. Later the team switched to the Unity engine. Gennady adopted the visual style of the team's art director, who in his spare time draws comics in a dark noir setting. The developer's future plans primarily plan to go into early access on Steam. Next will be support for the game with constant updates. Conquistadorio is an exciting point-and-click adventure set in a mysterious jungle world. Embark on a journey full of puzzles and challenging challenges. Join a charismatic protagonist in a dramatic story with cool illustrations, fun animations, and more. 7 people participated in the development of the project, and the game was developed using the Unity engine. The development was inspired by the game Machinarium. Circle of Kerzoven is a fun city-building simulator with strategy elements. You will have to guide the inhabitants as animals and plants find their place in the ecosystem. Explore new regions and buy the necessary resources from local factions. The game was inspired by a story from the developer's life. When Banished came out, Circle of Kerzoven's solo developer was extremely impressed with the consistent villager simulation. It was possible to observe the life of each person, which at that time was unique. However, he thought to himself, why not go even further? Why not model and represent plants and animals in the same way? In addition, his background as a systems engineer gives him a talent for detailed simulation models, control loops, and complex natural processes. The game was developed over 5 years by a team of 3 people. Further plans of the developers funding through Kickstarter and then early access. Metaball is a free-to-play cross-play multiplayer online sports game based on basketball that combines fast-paced action, exciting ranked matches, and advanced team play. You play as a horseman attempting to bring fame and fortune to your name by winning cutthroat Metaball League games with your teammates and collecting M-coins and rank points. The project has been in development for over 4 years now, with a dedicated development team and several playtests over the past year. The project involves 4 main developers, also about 20 people. The game is being developed using the Unity engine. The inspiration was the game Swing Dunk, which was released in early access at that time. The team used this project as a test to solidify the foundations of what was to become Metaball. The developers' future plans are to support Metaball with regular updates and events. In Paranormal Records, hyper-realistic graphics, thanks to the rendering engine Unreal Engine 5, will immerse you in the atmosphere of an abandoned psychiatric hospital, with its secrets and a frightening atmosphere. Unique gameplay from the perspective of a video camera. Complete absence of musical compositions, only real fear and real super realistic sound. 1 large location, 1 battery. You don't have to search all over the room for spare batteries because you have enough charge. No need to collect notes and look for small inconspicuous objects. You have a goal and you decide what to do. The game places great emphasis on realism, and this is manifested not only by modern graphics, but also by sounds. Paranormal Records features unique, realistic 3D sound positioning that travels along walls and surroundings. You will not have sharp musical inserts to scare you or pumping music. The developers will immerse you in a gloomy atmosphere of loneliness. In addition to sound, the developers focused on realism in terms of gameplay. Monsters will not run after you, you do not need to hide from anyone, or search for unnecessary and inappropriate objects. Yes, this is a game with an emphasis on realism, but with a caveat. What if ghosts are real? Production of the project began in February, but the idea for development was hatched for 3 years. If the game goes well, there will be DLC with new locations, and there will be a sequel in the same spirit, but more elaborate and deeper. Blooby Block is an adventure puzzle game based on the classic box-pushing concept from the Sokoban games. This game is a 3D evolution of the multi-level environment that offers new features and increases the difficulty of the puzzles. The game also features an arcade-like feel with enemies, traps, and spells. We can say that this game offers fresh puzzles with a high level of difficulty. The game has been developed by one person for 2 years using the Unity engine. The game has 180 levels, of which the first 20 can be considered training. From there, each new zone introduces new elements. In all areas, we can find small, medium, and large maps. All maps have the ability to move forward without solving puzzles, so we'll never get stuck. Hints are also provided at all levels if we want. Mobilization, first-person shooter, light humor, dynamics, and action will take you back to the atmosphere of first-person shooters of the Gennadys, an intuitive first-person shooter in the classic traditions of the genre. You don't have to know languages or read a lot of text, just go and destroy everything around. Throwing knives, grenades, bombs, and a whole arsenal of small arms will help you have fun and achieve any goals. An army of mercenaries financed by a group of hostile states under the command of fugitive General Jonathan Badon has captured an Allied military base on an island in the Pacific Ocean. Experiments with biological weapons are being conducted there, the purpose of which is to destroy our country and Allied states. We have selected the best of the best to participate in the operation to regain control of the base. We must return the base at any cost. One person is working on the creation of the project. The development took exactly a year. The game was developed using the Unreal Engine 4. The project was inspired by games such as Doom and Duke Nukem. Drakkar Crew, action RPG in the world of Scandinavian and Slavic mythology. Dynamic battles, an extensive system for leveling up combat skills and tactics. Management of the team, the ship in the large game world. The game has been developed by a team of 5 people over 5 years using the Unity engine. Inspired by such games as Mount and Blade, Darkest Dungeon, Shank. There are a lot of game updates ahead, also adding new monsters, bosses, and locations. Ghost Exile is a co-op horror game for up to 4 players. When hunting ghosts, you need to determine the type of ghost and perform an expulsion ritual. Then the ghost will no longer be able to harm anyone. Be careful. Hasty conclusions can lead you to a sad outcome. It's up to you to confront the ghost alone or enlist the help of friends. In co-op mode for up to 4 players, everyone will find a task to their liking, arrange equipment, draw protective seals, or complete additional tasks and photograph evidence to increase your reward. Your main task will be to expel the otherworldly entity, but before that you will have to determine what kind of evil is in front of you. Using various equipment, you need to determine the type of ghost or demon, and then use a ritual to banish it once and for all. Equip yourself properly with more than 25 types of basic and auxiliary equipment to determine the type of ghost and its subsequent expulsion. 12 locations in which you will have to face the unknown. The project has been developed by a team of 4 people for more than 2 years using the Unity engine. The inspiration was the game Phasmophobia. Having played it for some time, the team realized that they were missing something, and after a while, they decided to realize their vision and ideas. Write in the comments which game do you like more, and what selection of games to make next time.